Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? All right, listen. What we're going to be talking about today is our power grid and the fact that it could be at risk. There is a report that's out, okay, and I'm going to read it to you and then I'm going to show you a video, okay, and then we're going to talk about it. So, the report says that their secret Chinese tech has been found inside the U.S. solar equipment. And U.S. investigators say that it could shut down our entire power grid. And for the last 9 months, these investigators have uncovered rogue communication devices that are buried in solar inverters and batteries that are made in China. And these hidden parts were not listed in the manuals. But once investigators tore them open, they discovered a secret way to bypass security and take control remotely. And if they are triggered, these back doors could shut down the power systems, damage the grid, and cause blackouts across the country. So, Representative August Pfluger said that the CCP stops at nothing to break into our critical systems, and it's about time we ramp up our efforts to show China that compromising us will no longer be accepted. So, this threat is extremely serious, and 2 senators introduced a bill to block these components, but it's still sitting in committee. It's going nowhere. But because when the lights go out, okay, and because we're all homesteaders here or survivalists here, okay, it won't just be our power that goes out, okay? Our country will be completely defenseless. And you can understand how scary that is. Okay, so now take a listen to what they have to say.
Well, reportedly, rogue communication devices have been found in Chinese solar power inverters. Officials are reportedly reassessing the risk posed by Chinese-made devices found in solar panels that are capable of damaging the energy infrastructure, destabilizing the power grid, and triggering widespread blackouts. Over the past 9 months, rogue communication devices not listed in product documents were found in solar power inverters and batteries from several Chinese suppliers, according to sources familiar with the matter who spoke with Reuters. The undocumented devices were found after US experts disassembled the renewable energy equipment to check for security issues, prompting officials to review the potential dangers of the Chinese-made devices, according to the publication. Power inverters, which are predominantly produced in China, are used throughout the world to connect solar panels and wind turbines to electricity grids. They're also found in batteries, heat pumps, and electric vehicle chargers. While inverters are built to allow remote access for updates and maintenance, the utility companies that use them typically install firewalls to prevent direct communication back to China. However, rogue communication devices not listed in product documents have been found in some Chinese solar power inverters by US experts who stripped down equipment hooked up to grids to check for security issues, the 2 people said. The rogue components provide additional undocumented communication channels that could allow firewalls to be circumvented remotely with potentially catastrophic consequences, the 2 people said. Using the rogue communication devices to skirt firewalls and switch off inverters remotely or change their settings could destabilize power grids, damage energy infrastructure, and trigger widespread blackouts, experts said. That effectively means there is a built-in way to physically destroy the grid, one of the people said. The 2 people declined to name the Chinese manufacturers of the inverters and batteries with extra communication devices, nor say how many they had found in total. Quote, "The threat we face from the Chinese Communist Party is real and growing. Whether it's telecom hacks or remotely accessing solar and battery inverters, the CCP stops at nothing to target our sensitive infrastructure and components," said US Representative August Pfluger, a Republican member of the Committee on Homeland Security. "It's about time we ramp up our efforts to show China that compromising us will no longer be acceptable," he told Reuters. In February, 2 US senators introduced the Decoupling from Foreign Adversarial Battery Dependence Act, banning the Department of Homeland Security from purchasing batteries from some Chinese entities starting October 2027 due to national security concerns. The bill was referred to the Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs on March 11 and has yet to be enacted. With this exponential rise in technology taking over almost every facet of society, the implementation of AI into almost every device, it's proving ever more imperative to rein in some aspects of this technology in our lives, as this is all beginning to give off a very Skynet feel. Whether it be the so-called rise of the machines or rogue actors or states, a city or country or world in its entirety could be thrown into darkness with the flick of a switch and essentially bring turmoil into communities worldwide. A lot of people don't realize how dependent we are on electricity, whether it be coal-powered, nuclear, wind, or solar. Once it's out, everything stops working, not just the lights. This reinforces the need for nations to be energy independent, both in the source of the electricity and in the devices and components that control it, especially in a world where, despite them telling us it's a multipolar world, leaders will always be looking to dominate. As the saying goes, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. We'd be wise to not forget that and stop pretending that we're all going to join hands and sing Kumbaya around a fireplace one day. That would be nice, and only the people can ensure that's even a possibility. But governments, and especially foreign governments with world domination interests, wow, they're not to be trusted.
So, the secret Chinese tech hidden in the US solar farms. These are devices that could allegedly shut down the entire power grid, claiming blackouts, CCP sabotage. But my question is this a legit threat, or is this another viral panic? I'm diving into the facts to see what's real and what's just noise. Okay, so let's get into it, because when you see things on social media, you know, it's like, all right, well, is it real? You know, that type of thing. And sometimes when there's videos that are attached to social media posts, you're like, all right, well, who really made that? You know, that type of thing. So, like I said, for 9 months, U.S. investigators have been tearing apart Chinese-made solar inverters and their batteries and key gear that links to solar panels to our power grid. And so what did they find? Undocumented communication devices like cellular radios that were not listed in the manuals. And there are reports saying that these could bypass security, letting someone remotely mess with our power grid. All right. So some are calling it a kill switch, warning of a catastrophic blackout. The representative, August Pfluger, says that the CCP will stop at nothing to infiltrate our systems. With China making 80% of global solar gear, this feels extremely scary, especially after the Chinese cyber attacks like the Volt Typhoon hit the U.S. grid in 2023. So, here's the deal. No one has flipped these kill switches. There hasn't been any serious blackouts, no attacks tied to these devices yet. That's the key word here. Yet. All right. The entire grid shutdown fear, some would call it a stretch. Is it a possibility? I think anything's a possibility. Experts say a coordinated attack could cause regional outages, but wiping out the entire U.S. grid, you do realize that it's not just one grid, right? You've got one for the West Coast, one for the East Coast, and then Texas has its own, okay? So, interestingly, engineering notes the threat is real, but it could be overhyped because when it comes to social media, everything gets blown out of proportion. So, they amp it up, but the truth is murkier. Are these devices CCP backdoors, or is it just sloppy manufacturing? I don't know. I can't find any hard proof that says China is plotting sabotage. Okay, still, The U.S. is spooked, and rightfully so. Two senators pushed a bill to ban these components, but it's stuck in committee. Why? Why won't they move it? Why won't they talk about it? Why won't they push a bill? Why won't they do anything to save it? Why, you know what I mean? Why won't they do anything to, I mean, our grid is so, it's so weak. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, they won't upgrade our grids. Why? I don't know. I'm not an electrician. I'm not an engineer. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I can't answer those damn questions. So, you know, why won't they upgrade anything? I don't know. I think it's stupidity at its finest. With the way that they build, and building after building after building, and now these data centers that are going in, you would think that we would have this top-notch grid for this entire country. But no, we actually have the weakest grid on the planet. I mean, but anyway, so why is this blowing up? Why is it going viral? Why is it going crazy? Because why? Because we're hooked on Chinese tech. Everything between the phones, and then you got the microphones, and then you've got the mouse, and then you've got this, that, and the other. Okay? 80% of our solar inverters come from China. Our laptops come from China. Our medical equipment comes from China. Everything comes from China. All right? This isn't new. We've worried about Chinese gear since 2021. Social media loves drama. All right, just like that. IRS. I saw something about 45,000 IRS agents fired. Nonsense. All right, I debunked that so damn quick. It was like, what the heck is going on? All right, I see a social media post and I'm like, girl. Okay, I debunk things like that. All right, it's crazy. But with the FBI, Energy Department now swapping out suspect gear, this isn't just hype. It's a wake-up call to secure our grid. And it's also a wake-up call for you. You know, as people who are of the prepared mind, y'all need to get going. Okay? Okay, it's not Armageddon, but it's not a nothing burger either. All right? So, is this a secret tech grid killer? Probably not. But it's a real risk that we can't ignore. Okay? So do what you do best and prep. All right? I mean, we can take a serious find of anything and turn it, I mean, you could take any kind of social media, anything, any story that you find anywhere, online, on TV, anywhere, and I can turn it into a blackout horror story, and people are going to eat it up. Oh my God, she said it. It must be real. You know what I'm saying? You guys, I have to fact check after fact check after fact check after fact check. It's insane. Okay? Dig into the facts yourself, guys. Okay? Don't fall for the panic, please. I mean, what do you think? Is this legit or is this social media overkill? Let's talk about it in the comments. Like, subscribe. Let's keep unpacking the truth behind the headlines, y'all. All right? But, like I said, this is not a nothing burger. I would still prepare, because you never know what the Chinese have up their flip-flopping sleeves. Ain't nothing. I already logged. I'm kidding. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one, okay? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.